Rivals 2 is the newest and hottest platform fighter that everyone is talking about. From the Smash player that always needs to tell you they don't play Smash anymore, that's me, and Ludwig, content creator and founder of Offbrand Games, the publisher of Rivals 2. In this video, we'll be going over the simplest tips and tricks to learn how to play the game at an entry level. If you've never played a plat fighter, but you're looking to try one, this video is for you. If you've already played Smash Bros. Or another plat fighter like it, you might find our more advanced guides in our playlist a bit more your style. Today, we'll be detailing the Rivals 2 specific mechanics ranging from new moves unique to Rivals 2, how to defend yourself, and how to recover. Each part of this video will have a chapter, so if there's a specific mechanic you're looking to get the rundown on, or if you feel like you already know something, feel free to skip around. First things first, let's go over how to set your controls in Rivals 2. You can map any button to any action, even your C-stick and D-pad. This game is still in beta whenever I'm recording this, so the control menu will probably look a little different to you than mine does, but I'm sure you'll still get the right idea. There's a few different options here that change how you control your character. Let's look at those first. Tap jump allows you to jump with your stick, similar to the Smash games or other plat fighters. But if you'd rather jump with the button instead, you can turn that off. Speaking of sticks, your C-stick has a handful of options when starting the game. It should be set to strong, but I personally prefer it set to attack, allowing me to perform tilt attacks with ease. We'll get to those later. However, all the options have different uses, so I suggest mapping it to whatever option suits you best. For our third and final option, we have Tap Strong. Tap Strong allows you to input strong attacks, similar to Smash Bros. And other platform fighters, by holding down the attack button. If you turn this off, you can map a specific button to strong attacks instead. For your other buttons, I suggest setting your shoulder buttons to shields, parries, and grabs, while mapping your face buttons to attacks and jumps. However you do this is up to you, it's your control scheme, so play the game however you'd like, even on keyboard or a leverless controller. Now that we've gone over how to set our controls, let's start going over how to attack, move, and guard yourself. First of all, we'll start with how to attack. In Rivals 2, every character has 4 unique versions of every move. A neutral, when you're not pressing any direction with your stick. A side, where you're pressing left or right with your stick. An up, where you're pressing up with your stick. And a down, I'll let you guess it, when you're pressing down with your stick. Each character also has a variety of moves, ranging from tilts, strong attacks, aerials, specials, grabs, and jabs. You're probably thinking, that's a lot, but don't worry, we're gonna get to it. Jabs and tilts are normally quick, safe grounded moves that can open up opponents for getting comboed or connect into slower, stronger moves. These can be performed by pressing the A button quickly with a direction input or with no direction input to get a jab. Aerials are similar to tilts, but instead of being grounded, they're in the air. Shocking, I'm sure. However, unlike tilts, aerials have a bit more versatility. Some are good for opening combos, similar to tilts. Some are good for putting distance between you and an opponent, keeping you safe. And some are good for netting kills, especially off stage. Speaking of getting kills, let's talk about strong attacks. These are normally best used when looking for kills. However, they're a bit more situational than tilts or aerials, since they are normally slower to start up and have more lag at the end of the move, meaning they're easier to react to and easier to punish. This means the best place to use strong attacks is either to finish a combo or to call out an opponent's movement. This mostly happens when they're trying to land or when they're trying to get off the ledge. Just like strong attacks and tilt attacks, every character has a set of special attacks. These can range from setup moves that can be used to trap opponents, finishers to end a stock, and moves that can help you get back on stage, like recoveries. Each character's specials are super unique and normally lean into a character's core mechanic. Each character has their own in-depth mechanic that defines them as a character. These can range from Crag being able to build blocks and walls, to Rano being able to place poison darts on opponents and trap them inside of bubbles. I suggest trying each character and finding out what works for them, or watching our character picking guide where we go over the unique qualities of each fighter in Rivals 2, including their strengths and their weaknesses. Lastly, in offense, we have grabs. Grabs are unique in Rivals 2 compared to other platform fighters, and actually mirror some traditional fighting games a bit more closely. Grabbing an opponent leaves you with 3 options: a pummel, a special pummel, which is done by pressing your B button, or by throwing your opponent up, down, forward, or backwards. Each pummel has its own benefit, with neutral pummels performed by pressing your A button, doing more damage, while special pummels do a small amount of damage and apply a special effect. For example, Raster can drag opponents into the sky, leading to kills off the top, and Maple can plant Poppy, an exploding plant that sends opponents towards Maple, netting her easy smash attacks. Watch out though, if your opponent presses the same pummel that you're pressing, they'll break free from your grab, meaning you won't get a chance to pummel or throw them. All of these offensive options can be a bit overwhelming to learn all at once, but after a few hours, you'll have each one down and mastered in no time. Offense isn't the only part of a plat fighter, however. Defensive options are just as important, and as expressive as their offensive counterparts. Pressing and holding your shield button allows you to block incoming attacks, and sometimes even land a counter hit on an opponent if they space their move unsafely or use a laggy move. You can also parry a move to stun your opponent and guarantee a punish or reflect a projectile back at them. You can parry by pressing your special button while shielding, or with the parry button mapped on your controller. Parrying is a little laggy, however, if missed, which leaves you open to counterattacks. Both shields and parrying are vulnerable to getting grabbed, so be sure to dodge those with a dodge. There's 3 different kinds of dodges. A spot dodge, which lets you dodge in place by pressing your shield button and down on your stick. A roll, which combines the shield button and a left or right input, and air dodges, which can be used in the air and combined with the directional input to gain height or distance in that direction. Grounded dodges are less laggy than parries, making them safer to use, but they don't reflect projectiles or stun opponents, meaning you also get less reward off of them. Similar to dodges, teching can be performed when being hit against the ground or a wall by pressing the shield button. This prevents you from being knocked down or bounced off the wall. You can also press a direction when teching to roll in that direction. If you don't tech when being hit onto the ground, you get put into a knockdown state. But don't worry, not always lost. When on the ground, you can roll in either direction, tap up to do a quick standing action, or press your attack or special button to get 2 different get up attacks. Each characters are different, and special attacks normally work with that character's specific mechanic that we mentioned earlier. Our last defensive technique, Directional Influence, also known as DI, might be the most important of them all. When you're hit by an opponent, their move sends you in a specific direction. However, by pressing their direction with your movement stick, you're able to influence that direction. This can allow you to escape combos and kill confirms by holding away from your opponent, or surviving kill moves by holding towards the corner of the screen or back towards the stage. Mastering these defensive options will let you get hit less, escape combos faster, and give you the secrets to living longer. I'll give you a hint, it's not eating an apple a day, it's mastering your offstage gameplay and your recoveries. Being offstage can be super scary, since your opponent will do anything and everything to keep you from reaching the ledge. However, you do have a few options to sneak past your opponent and recover safely. Each character has a few different options off stage, so let's go over them one by one. Everyone has what's known as a double jump. Some have more than one, but we're not talking about Raster today. They also have an up special. Some people also refer to this as an up B. Up Bs are special moves that normally boost your character up in some form. These can range from Loxodon's massive leap with his axe, to Maple's tether to pull her towards a marked opponent. Some characters also have extra recovery options, like Loxodon's side B, letting him perform an air dash, and Rano's side B, allowing him to pull himself to the wall of the stage. These side B options can be good combined with the wall jump, another recovery tool that every character has, allowing them to refresh their freefall state out of some recovery options, and gain a good amount of height. If your double jump, wall jump, side B, and up B still aren't all enough to get you back on stage, you're in luck. You can gain a bit of height or distance with your air dodge that we touched on earlier. These can also be used to dance around opponents trying to hit you deep off stage, so be sure to take advantage of them. Each of these options you can only use once off stage, so you'll need to combine them to get a full recovery. I suggest trying to go to the wall with your double jump, air dodge, and side Bs if possible, then using your wall jump to finally use your up B, since you can't use any other options after you use your up B. Sometimes you're able to get back on stage with only 1 or 2 of these recovery techniques, and just remember to keep practicing your recoveries since they can feel a little unnatural at first, especially if you're coming from another platform fighter with a few less options. Just keep these in mind and you'll get the hang of it in no time. This, however, leaves us with one last question. What do you do once you get to the ledge? Of course, you could skip this step completely by just recovering to the stage, but that can be unsafe and leave you open to an attack, so going to the ledge is normally safer. Once you are at the ledge, you have a handful of options. You can get up by tapping forward, roll off the ledge with your shield button, attack off the ledge with your attack button, use a special off the ledge with your special button, jump from the ledge by tapping up, or drop from the ledge by tapping down. Each of these options have counterplay, so be sure to mix up which option you use, and change which one you use based on where your opponent is standing. For example, if the opponent is standing at roll distance, using a get up attack really wouldn't help, since they're out of range. But using a default get up might allow you to gain access to the stage before they can knock you back off. Be sure to take your time when picking the ledge option, since it's better to pick the right option instead of the first one that comes to mind. You have a few seconds worth of invincibility while you hang onto the ledge, so take advantage of them. Speaking of ledge invincibility, I really wasn't sure where to squeeze this mechanic in, but Rivals 2 has a mechanic called ledge hogging, which might disrupt your recoveries just a bit. Ledge hogging means that you can't grab the ledge while an opponent is holding onto it, and invincible. The best counterplay is to overshoot your recovery and land on the stage, but that's a bit more advanced, and we'll touch on that later in our recovery guide. It's coming soon, I hope. If you've made it this far in the video, thanks so much. We have a full playlist of Rivals 2 guides that examine the game in greater detail, as well as Rivals 2 tournament matches where you can watch other competitors of all skill levels use each character and get an idea how they play, all on this channel. If you have any questions or want to know about something I didn't cover, leave a comment and let me know. Until next time, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you later.